welcome to the Eric St. Show podcast. It's a horrible day. 12 hours ago, some maniac started killing people on the campus of Michigan State University. I think 2 or 3 people are dead, 5 more badly injured in this gruesome scene. You know, frankly, and it's weird because last night I actually dreamt of this happening. I mean, I dreamt of the aftermath because I went to bed with this bad guy still at large. And they ended up cornering the guy at around midnight, and he shot himself. He's dead. But I dreamt that 71, for some reason I woke up with the number 71 people had been killed. So I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh shit. And then I turned on the news. It wasn't nearly that many, obviously, but still just as ridiculous and heinous. Now you've got one of the largest universities in the entire nation. Everybody's freaked out, and they try to pick up the pieces. My God. When I was going to bed last night, Madison comes in, and she's having an anxiety attack. She has friends that go there. And she said that there was some post from some maniac announcing that he was about to do that. And I haven't been able to, I don't know where she got it. Seems like kids always have access, young people have access to shit that adults don't see. It's like their own internet. And there was also a picture of more than one person walking down the street, grainy photo. And I was like, what the hell is going on? It was kind of like what, you know, the information trickling in at the time. But God knows what is up. All we know is that Berkey Hall is where this all started. And Maureen says it wasn't the same guy that posted it online that did the shooting. I don't know. It's fucked up. Then he, after that, kids are jumping out of windows. Went over to, I guess, what's called the Student Union. And did it again. He ended up taking off one step ahead of the cops, I guess. And then finally they tracked the bastard down. Like I said, 43 years old. That's all they've said about the guy. 43-year-old dude. Megan says, I know the post that you're talking about, not the same. Well, that's amazing, though, that someone would do that. What the fuck? I mean, why would you? I don't know. People are fucking nuts. Audio check, video check. This is how it unfolded. This is 60 miles from your old pal Eric Zane in relation to where I'm at. But several audience members are in that area, of course. Maureen and Linda, I believe, are both there. And Adam, I think, is pretty damn close. Adam S. Let us get into it.
Donovan Long is in East Lansing this morning as we continue our coverage of the shooting at Michigan State University. We'll be checking in with him throughout the broadcast. We know that a gunman killed 3 people. 5 other people are in the hospital in critical condition this morning. Police told us that the man responsible shot and killed himself last night, hours after the shooting and after a confrontation with police. MSU's campus police lifted the stay-in-place order shortly after they confirmed the gunman was dead. All campus activities are canceled for at least the next 2 days. And we continue to follow the investigation this morning. Police have not been able to give us any information about the people who have died or those who are in the hospital. They have been working on notifying families before they release that information. So that's something we expect an update on this morning. Police said they would share their next update at 8 o'clock this morning. This all started around 8:18 last night at Berkey Hall, one of the academic buildings on campus. The gunman killed 2 people there. Officers got there within minutes, and the gunman moved over to the Student Union, where he killed a 3rd person and left from the building's north door as officers arrived. And that was the last time police saw the gunman until they located him near the intersection of Lake Lansing and Larch Roads, which is nearly 5 miles away from where the shootings happened. They say the gunman killed himself after officers confronted him. Now, investigators have not shared how they found the gunman there.
And we have no idea why he came to campus to do this tonight. That is
Because he's crazy and he wanted to kill people.
part of our ongoing investigation.
This is a process. It will take some time. I know we all want answers, and the answers will come. Hopefully what has been shared to this point is enough to assist in what we are all trying to do, which is to recover.
We've been working to confirm the identity of their suspect. The only thing
She's got a little bit of a wet mouth thing going on, by the way.
investigators would tell us so far
Gross.
is that he was a 43-year-old man and didn't have any connection they know about to MSU. We saw a large police presence around.
Imagine if she said he has one connection to a group formerly known as Zaniacs.
Home following the gunman's death. That was on East Howe Avenue near Creston Avenue in Lansing. Now, police did not confirm if that was related to the shooting investigation. They only said that they were investigating at other locations in connection with the shooting. So that's something that we'll be working to confirm this morning. Now, as part of our team coverage, we have Brittany Flowers following the conditions of those 5 people who we know went to the hospital. They went to Sparrow Hospital, which is in downtown Lansing. And Brittany Flowers is there now with what she's heard from hospital administrators. Good morning, Brittany.
Yeah, Teresa, this is where those 5 victims are recovering. I spoke with a hospital spokesperson earlier this morning. Out of respect for the victims and their families, they're not giving out much information about who exactly these victims are. But he did tell us that they're all listed in critical condition, varying degrees of injury. Some have either gone through surgery or are currently going through surgery. As these victims fight to survive, the spokesperson says that the doctors and nurses here at Sparrow Hospital are doing everything that they can.
There is some variance in the conditions of the patients. They're all critical.
I'm already losing interest with this guy's voice. They're going to be okay, but they're in critical condition.
Several have been in surgery. We've had 5. We don't expect any more tonight.
I can't take it.
They're all in different stages. I can't really get into the severity of injuries or the types of injuries. We're largely deferring to MSU. We're working with them.
Now, we have been mentioning MSU police will hold a press conference again.
Never before has there been more time spent on a story with so little information. You could watch this entire piece, and they made an 8-minute feature, an 8-minute news story, and quite literally, in one sentence, you could have covered everything that has happened and what is available now.
And at 8 o'clock this morning, John Foran tells us that the chief medical officer will be at that press conference. We expect to learn more about these victims as well as the extent of their injuries.
Saw unfold last night. I got to tell you, I ran into a freshman student here at the university at one of the residence halls here. He's a freshman from South Africa. He says he never imagined he would come study in America at a university where he would find himself fighting for his life potentially. He said he was with his girlfriend.
What? We invented school shootings. How could he not know that?
20 minutes before police say a gunman opened fire at the MSU Union building. He said he and his girlfriend were there. Just
the guy's like, oh shit, man, it was rough in South Africa with apartheid, and all the discrimination. But here, you guys are much more fucked up.
They do having normal conversation on Monday, and realized that they too could have been put in harm's way if they didn't choose to leave within minutes of the gunman coming in. Take a listen.
My thoughts and prayers go out to all the families affected, because it's a grand tragedy that people would have to experience this sort of thing. But I can just count my lucky stars that we decided to leave when we did.
Yeah, honestly, you just heard him saying he's counting his lucky stars. That's really the sentiment that's been reflected here all night and on into this morning. We've talked to several parents on the ground here who are just thankful that their sons and daughters made it out alive, but they are also praying for everyone else who's been deeply affected by this tragedy. We're talking about the people who are recovering in critical condition, who Brittany just spoke about, and also the loved ones of the 3 people who have died in this shooting, Teresa.
And I know that the campus has grief resources available for students who maybe didn't.
Tyler writes, that's referring to the guy who someone said sounded like Napoleon Dynamite. That's their spokesperson.
Go home.
They couldn't get anybody better.
And so that's something that will be available to them today.
Employees of mine.
Okay.
Building for several hours.
Hold on a second here.
I've heard from students and employees on campus about the moment they heard the gunshots. A woman who works on Brody campus said they got a notification from campus police to shelter in place and then saw a stampede of people running. She and her coworkers hid in a crawl space in their building for several hours.
That herd of people running from the front to the back because we thought that he was over there.
Thanks, man.
By the way, everybody was running. And then I had some other employees of mine run into the office, start grabbing their stuff and run out. And it wasn't a good sound. It wasn't a good image.
I didn't even know you could still get glasses like that.
Madison said the staff went over emergency procedures just last week, which included what to do if they had to shelter in place. Governor Whitmer graduated from Michigan State University in 1998.
And she had lots of sex during those years. That's where she got the name Stretchin'.
She shared a statement last night that says parents across Michigan are on pins and needles.
Boner right now.
Tonight, checking in on them and telling them they love them. It doesn't have to be this way. This is
okay. You know what she's saying there? It doesn't have to be this way. She wanted to say the next sentence of, beginning Tuesday, I'm going to take all your guns.
It's a uniquely American problem. Too many of us scan rooms for exits when we enter them. We plan who that last text or call would go to. We should not, we cannot accept living like this.
So we should all carry guns.
Tonight, Spartans will cry and hold each other a little closer. We will mourn the loss of beautiful souls and pray for those fighting for their lives in the hospital.
All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shit. Adam says those glasses are making a comeback. More on the gun thing, because this is where we're going to go now.
Shooting at MSU. Students won't be on campus there today, tomorrow, or maybe for many more days after that. A lot of them left campus last night after sheltering in place for about 4 hours, learning that a gunman had shot and killed 3 people on their campus and that 5 others have critical injuries. Donovan Long is following this developing situation for us now in East Lansing. Good morning, Donovan.
Good morning, Teresa. Just for perspective, I want to tell you where I am. Just across the street from me right here is the MSU Union Building. That is one of 2 places police say a gunman opened fire on Michigan State University's campus, injuring 5 people and killing 3 others. I want to tell you, though, that there is an active police presence still here on campus. Certainly not to the extent of what we saw last night, but officers do remain here as this investigation continues. There's also crime scene tape that is still displayed behind me. Of course, both being a grim reminder of what happened on campus last night. We should point out, though, too, that students and professors here are still struggling to come to grips with what happened. It's become something that's seen nationally in other schools, and a lot of folks say that they never imagined that they would go to sleep without some members of their community and with others who are recovering in critical condition in the hospital. Take a listen.
How do we begin this conversation? What do we say to our students? What people don't realize is that majority of the students who are at Michigan State University now are Generation Z. So these students grew up with Sandy Hook. These students grew up with Parkland. These students grew up with mass shootings as a regular occurrence in their development. So how do we address the conversation? How do we make them feel safe when we ourselves don't feel safe? And I think this is a larger conversation than just
let go of using the word conversation anymore. Just speak your fucking mind.
We can even take on. This is a larger issue. This is a systemic issue. This is an issue that deserves a larger conversation.
Yeah,
a lot of conversing going on. Yeah. What we're going to need to do, I feel, is we got to break this down to a larger conversation. But before we get to that conversation, we need to converse about the aforementioned conversing. And then that would lead to a conversation with Gen Z, and all of the conversing will lead to more conversing. And when the conversation ceases, we will count the dead and start to converse about them. Shut up, asshole!
The professor there pretty much underscored that these shootings are happening far too often in not only the nation, but in our community, right? From Oxford to here. You know, a lot of people are feeling that weight of dealing with the trauma and the aftermath of what something to this magnitude will bring. And so, and the professor went on and said, we've got to get to a point where this isn't the new normal. This shouldn't be normal because it isn't normal. And I should mention also, Teresa, that police will continue continue updating us with their.
Okay, so they're dancing around it. Everybody is.
We expect to hear from them at 8:00 this.
Everybody is too scared to just say what they want to say. Every person that you've seen and heard from in this story, one way or another, I can see the look in their eye. They're all like, "Okay, take the guns away. We must kick in the doors and take away the guns." Well, huh? How? Okay, first of all, you're going to start a war. That's not the problem. And it would do nothing if you take away guns, for fuck's sake. No one's going to give you their guns. Fuck. The problem is the maniacs get guns, and they're going to get them one way or another. And if they're not going to get guns, let's just say, let's wave a magic wand and create a world where their guns don't exist. Bad guys are still going to kill as many people as possible. Wasn't there the one parade, what part of the U.S. that was, when the guy just drove through the grandmas? The marching grandmas? Grandmas were flying off the car like fucking bowling pins. The guy actually got a 7-10 split of grandmas. Motherfuck. You know, I don't accept any of that shit. Wiping out the guns. No, we need more fucking guns. Everybody needs a fucking gun. Can you imagine in back to my fantasy world? Someone says 7-10 grandma split. Jesus, I'm dying. Sorry. These cowards don't go where the guns are. They go to the gun-free zones. Of course. It should be apply for admission, and you must carry a gun. Jesus. Stevie says they just released the name of the killer. Send it my way if you see it. I don't want to get interrupted. I'm on a roll. Talking about Grandma's 7-10 split. Ryan says, as much as I don't have any comments on guns, I don't understand how anyone could police taking away guns. Who has them or who doesn't? Underground guns. I mean, it would be ridiculous. Nowadays, you can fucking hit print and make a gun. So don't give me the idea even, and don't dance around it. I mean, even if you were, you had a hard on about guns and the fucking people that have guns. Don't be a goddamn child when it comes to making your point and say, well, we're going to start to have conversations. This isn't This isn't normal, you know, how there's people shooting people and there's bodies all over the place. That's a little, we need to have a conversation. Just say, I would have more respect for you if you said, yeah, all guns need to be abolished and need to be put into a metal shredder. We need to be an unarmed society. Go ahead and say that. That isn't going to work, of course. But at least have the balls to say what you want to say. Blue State Rob wants a devil version of my professor who wants guns to be abolished.
Can we please have a conversation about getting rid of the guns? I think the conversing needs to be a conversational style.
Idiot. Jesse adds, these guys just need some pussy and love. Then they wouldn't go shooting people. Corey adds, dude, it would be badass if we could carry swords again like Game of Thrones. We can't carry a sword? Kenny adds, talking about getting rid of guns does nothing. Yeah, I mean, seriously, if you're the people who do want guns to go away, I would be pissed off at all the people who agree with you and then don't actually do it. I mean, if you're going to try to do it, do it. But don't sit there and just piss everybody off and say what we should do. And even if you were successful at it, which you won't be, and you're going to start a fucking war, and there's going to be a domestic terror attack because these crazy fucks that live where I live are going to fight you tooth and nail. You know, they wear shirts that said, from my cold, dead hands. These fucking maniacs. That is not going to work. The good guys that have the guns, you want those on your team. You want the good guys having guns. We need more good guys with guns. Amy wants me to say
710 Grandma Split.
In devil voice. That's a perfect example, by the way, of tragedy plus time equals comedy. Now, if we're one day removed from grandmas as bowling pins, you do not make that joke. It's in the rearview mirror now. So pulling off 710 Grandma Split is a possibility. NW980 says 710 Grandma Split. Who do you think you are? I am Pete Weber. Corey says, traveling to Europe, I always found it interesting that the population doesn't have guns, but in places like airports, etc., they have guards with automatic weapons on display everywhere. Same thing in Honduras. Tyler says, Eric Zane, if you knew one of the grandma bowling pins, then that wouldn't be appropriate. No, it's because I don't know them. You're right. There's a schematic to a joke that has to be followed, and if you violate any of the rules, it's a disaster. Like, look at Blue State Rob here. He just admitted with the comment, I often make pizza 9/11 jumper jokes. Motherfuck. All right. So that's where we are on this shit. Fucking nuts. Another massive shooting. Well, they're all massive in my opinion. Some are bigger than others, but it's weird when you see 3 dead, 5 injured. Well, I thought it could have been a lot worse. I'm gonna go on about my day. For once, I want in the perfect Eric world where they've all got guns, the fucking idiot isn't aware of it. Okay, and he's like, all right, and he gets his weapon ready, and just as he's about to open fire, like 8 pistols are at his head, and they all go off at the same time. Jesus. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the show is on Twitch, and I want you to follow me on Twitch. I want you to follow me, and I want you to subscribe on Twitch. That is the main way this show is viewed / listened to live every morning during the week, 8 a.m. Twitch.tv / Eric Zane Live is where you find it. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, I'm going to kick you out. So please go to twitch.tv / Eric Zane Live. Follow and subscribe. You can subscribe for free with your Amazon Prime account or throw a few bucks at it on your own if you don't have Amazon Prime. You got to do it each month. It doesn't automatically renew. Or don't. Just follow it, and you'll get commercials during the show. Send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. If you ever want to chat, brought to you by Shortliners Striping. And the audio podcast is available everywhere you download shows. Just search Eric Zane Show. So, to review, no, the answer is not going and taking everyone's guns. In my opinion, more guns. The good guys need the weaponry. The bad guys have it. Let's level the fucking playing field, assholes. Jesus. All right. I'm going to kick everybody out. Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. Y'all have a great day.